friends, welcome back to the Nail Source podcast. I'm your host, Amy Masters, nail tech, educator, and mentor with more than 30 years helping nail professionals build confidence in their salon and in themselves. Each week, we're talking about real strategies that help you grow, from nail techniques and client relationships to pricing, boundaries, building a career that you actually love and will support you. Because being a great nail tech isn't just about beautiful nails. It's about building the confidence, creating connection, and turning your talent into a thriving business. So grab a cup and listen in, and let's get started. Today, we're talking about connection, like real connection with your clients. And if you've ever felt like some clients are easy and some clients are hard to connect with and please, I believe it's how they receive and connection with you. You know, children are really good at connecting. They'll even voice it out more, like, oh, watch me do this cartwheel, or come for a walk with me, and they're wanting to spend that quality time with you. Or they're like, hang up this picture, do you really like it? And what they're wanting from you is maybe some words of affirmation, or let me help you, let me help you. And with that, maybe they're an acts of service. All of this ties into the 5 love languages. Now, I learned about the 5 love languages in the 80s. I was pretty young, and I guess I didn't fully understand it until I was working more with clients. And I know that it was originally written to be able to be for relationships, but the relationships that we have with our clients is on the same level. And not only has this helped me understand more and better communicate with coworkers, but as well as my own children in life, but my clientele. And I really feel that that's one of the reasons why my clients have continued to choose me. I mean, I have some clients still coming to me after 26 years. And I think it's not because I always delivered the best nails. I really think it was about the connection. And I feel like nail techs are just taking on too much, that sometimes they feel like they're carrying more than just the nails, right? And, you know, the clients come in, they're running late, they overshare, the clients are questioning your pricing, maybe they're not rebooking, and somehow you leave feeling drained. And it's not even about the nails themselves. Now, I don't believe it's always a boundary problem either. I think it's a connection problem, because when clients feel connected to you in the way that they receive connection, everything kind of shifts. Your communication improves, your confidence rises, and your clients, well, they start respecting you, and without you feeling like you have to fight for it. So today I'm going to break down a little bit how I use the 5 love languages in the salon, and how this one shift can change your client relationships, your client retention, even your pricing. And honestly, it will shift your entire business. Like, have you ever had a client where you just felt like you were doing everything right? Your work was beautiful, your timing was good, but something just kind of felt off. They didn't rebook with you. Maybe they didn't fully trust your process and was questioning what you were doing or questioning your prices. And at the end, you actually just felt disconnected. But yet, you can have another client come in, do the same service, the same time, same you, and they rebook every time. They respect your time. They trust every part of your process. They send you referrals. That's where it's not about your skill. I really think it's about the connection. Okay, so the 5 love languages was written by Gary Chapman, and they are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Now, every person, they give and receive love in a certain way. And when it doesn't match, it becomes very frustrating. People feel unappreciated. They don't feel listened to. They disconnect. And that is the difference of what we have the opportunity to do in our salons, because we do work with our clients one-to-one. If we just listen, we can find out what their love language is for that better communication. So let's start with words of affirmation. I find that sometimes my clients will share stories like, oh, my job is so difficult, they just don't even appreciate me. Like, I go out of my way to do something for them, and they can't even say thank you. For this love language, during your appointment, you could say like, oh, these look amazing on you, or compliment them on something that they've done or something that they're wearing. and be able to, align with them more. At the closing of the appointment for this personality, I would say, I know that these nails will get noticed. I want you to enjoy and absorb the attention. I appreciate you choosing me as your tech. It's amazing how those little things that you can say for somebody who is a words of affirmation, that it instantly shifts them, and you'll start to see them, lighten up a little bit, the smile that comes in, and how they feel adored. And with that communication comes naturally, and it will continue. Now, this next one is quality time. And I must have a lot of clients that are quality time, because they'll come in and they'll say things like, oh, I need my Amy time. The conversations flow easily, and they talk and they talk and they talk and they talk, and they just share everything. And I really enjoy these clients because I don't always have to listen to every word. They're just happy to be there. They want to be present. They always say things like, oh, I enjoy our time together. They maybe even want to hang out with you outside of the salon. And that's where you need to set boundaries of what you would like to do. But at the closing of this person's appointment, you could say, I enjoyed your pamper session today. I look forward to pampering you again soon, and we can catch up then. Now let's think about the client on receiving gifts. This one usually tends to bring you a gift at the appointment. They might bring you a coffee or maybe a little treat or something that they made. This client loves the extras. They love the little surprises. So maybe instead of handing them a cuticle oil as a gift, put it into like a little bag for them, or even the handwritten note cards. They love the thought of you thinking of them. They love the gifts and truly just the simple gestures. You could even say something like, oh, I purchased this color with you in mind. Now, the closing of that appointment, you would say, thank you for choosing me. I appreciate you, and here's a small token of appreciation. Now, if you listened a few weeks ago, we talked about don't block the blessings. And this next one is acts of service. And acts of service and don't block the blessings definitely go hand in hand. Now, this client will always come in and they're offering to help, like take out your garbage, bring you a meal, anything you need at any time. They're always there. They're always offering. And where I don't want you to block the blessing is that, because sometimes that's difficult to accept the extra help, or you feel like, what do they want in return, or that you would have to gift them something in return. But honestly, all they want is to feel needed. Allow them to do something for you. The most simplest little things, a simple errand. At the closing of this appointment, I find that if you say, you always go up and beyond to help so many other people, you are making an impact in lives. You will find a complete shift in their personality. You will see them again light up and glow and feel so appreciated and seen. Now this, every time I've taken the test, is who I am. I am physical touch. If you've ever met me at a nail show or in person, it's definitely about a hug. Usually the clients that are personal touch will come and give you a hug first. They don't tend to pull away from you at the table. They actually kind of lean in a little bit because they're comfortable, not too close in space, but they're comfortable being all in with you at that moment. And they don't shy away. They don't tend to pull their hand away from you during the service. In fact, they appreciate it. And, in the industry that we're in, it's between us, pampering their feet or pampering their hands, their hair or whatnot. They know to expect that we're going to touch them there and it's comfortable. Now, if you were doing a simple gel manicure and all of a sudden you're going to massage up to their wrist and they might pull away a little bit, that's definitely not their love language, but it doesn't align with what they thought the service would be. So there's this instant disconnect. So understanding physical touch is also important because it can easily go the opposite way where somebody is constantly pulling away from you. They want intentional touch. It's very gentle. You notice that these people tend to be a lot more calm. And at the closing of their appointment, you can simply just give them a hug and say, thank you for being you. That's it. Just keep it very simple. There's definitely a ripple effect that when you have the right love language and when they leave filling they call it the love tank, their cup is full. That's going to reflect on them in other areas of their life, of how they treat the person at the grocery store, to how they treat their coworkers at work. And I think that our tables are the great platforms to be able to talk about this and learn from our clients, but also educate them on the topic of even 5 love languages. There's no doubt that it's going to help strengthen every relationship once you understand, that love language. And there's books and there's tests that you can take. There is Gary Chapman, the 5 love languages. You could just search for it. And there's some tests that you can do. And I really want you to be honest with yourself when you take this test. Don't do it on an emotional day. Don't do it on a day that you're feeling the burnout from the client. I want you to take it on a day that you're neutral. And you're going to really find out a lot about yourself, of what you would rather have. And I think, and the things that you need to negate. But I really think what happens is when you find out what your love language is, you're going to realize that you actually attract some of those. But if you're in acts of service and the people around you are also acts of service, it's almost like you're going to always one-up each other on how much more services you can do. And so sometimes you just have to realize that you need to step down and allow people within their comfort zone to be able to help each other. But ultimately, I think the 5 love languages is just feeling seen, feeling listened, and truly feeling appreciated. And when you can communicate on the same path, there is no competition in it. It's only building each other up. I think the 5 love languages it's a gift. And it shifts everything. Like when a client feels unseen, they tend to push away. They question your pricing, they overtalk, they test your boundaries. And, when they feel understood in their love languages, they're relaxed, they trust you, they trust your process, they respect you. And I think it's because their needs are being met. And there's no more over-explaining, no more over-giving, overextending. It's just aligned, and you actually look forward to the conversations. I feel that when you introduce the 5 love languages, it's no longer about the nails themselves. I really feel it's how you make them feel, and nails are just a part of it. It's when you understand their love language, you create that feeling intentionally, and that's where long-term clients come from, and that's where suitable income comes from. So let's flip this. Like, what is your love language? Because I feel like this is also where burnout can happen. If your love language is words of affirmation, you feel like no one appreciates you, And if you're quality time, sometimes you could feel rushed all day because you've just gone back to back to back to back. If you're acts of service and your clients might not respect your work, you start to feel very drained. So part of, the work is knowing your clients, knowing yourself, and adjusting your communication so that both of you are supported. I feel this is a foundation, a positive foundation for any business. And when you understand how your clients feel valued and how you feel valued, then everything gets easier. Your communication, your confidence, and your boundaries, and your business start to feel lighter. So I created a little consultation form for you. And I'll have it on the nailsource.store. If you search podcast, it will be up in the pictures of that podcast, and you can download it from there. And it's kind of getting to know your clients. Like in your conversations, what do they talk about the most? What do they compliment or they notice? Do they bring you gifts or thoughtful items? Do they prefer conversation or maybe quiet time? And do they lean in and touch, or do they kind of pull away and give you a little bit of a fight? And then you're going to, kind of identify what love language they possibly could be. Maybe even have that conversation at the table just to kind of open up the communication. I really like to bring this up at times of a conversation that I want to detour or distract, that maybe I don't like where the conversation's going, and I change it to something like this, something positive. And then I want you to kind of find out how you can serve that client better. Like, what could you say more of to fill their cup? What can you do differently? And maybe a small gesture that you can add to the service to let them feel appreciated. And then where do you feel that maybe the client drains you? And then how could you redirect while staying connected? And then I really want you to know what your primary love language is and be able to help share that in a positive way. And then, at their next nail appointment, they kind of bring it up and follow it up. I've learned that when I've talked about this with my clients, it's been an ongoing conversation for many years. And as more people come into their life, they're like, oh, I use the 5 love languages, and just instantly was able to connect quicker with this person. And it's incredible. And I wish that we could go back to the more youthful, like where we weren't worried about what other people said. And that we could go in and just say, hey, do you like this? Do you like what I'm wearing today? Does it look good? Does it not? And absorb the honest feedback without taking it so personally. And I feel like the 5 love languages helps eases us into the conversation when sometimes it's a little bit hard for us to connect. So feel free to download that and be able to use that into your salon and your relationships with your clients, your coworkers, and even at home. If this episode supported you or made you kind of double check how you feel that you are with your clients, then please save it. Share it with another nail tech who maybe needs to hear this as well. And if you're ready for a deeper dive into building your businesses that actually support you, then continue to listen and tune in. So until next time, thank you for being here. Keep it simple, keep it aligned, keep learning and trusting your expertise, and build something that actually works for you.